How familiar were you with the source material before you originally came on board to the project?
I didn't know about it till it hit my desk, but David got the book, started reading it, and then said, "Hey, there's this character Avraham that you really got to check out." He hadn't even finished reading the book yet, so we took a look and fell in love with him. And he was unlike anything we'd seen before. But I didn't know about this series, Dror's series of books beforehand. I've read them all since. We're going to incorporate various aspects of them as we go along, but they should exist in their own worlds. People who like that Avi will like our show, and vice versa. And yeah, it's just an exciting thing to one day stumble upon this set of novels.
Do you just trust David now if he tells you you're gonna like a book, you're gonna like it?
No, we don't always agree. Like any good partnership, I think that's the point, right? Or any good marriage of any kind, you don't always agree on the same thing. But I could certainly agree that I'd never seen a character like this before, and I could certainly agree that I wanted to see some empathy and compassion in a police story these days. So, with those two things in mind, there is definitely a meeting of the minds.
So with Avi, sometimes he can be a bit standoffish and closed off, but then at other times he's got this huge empathy. I mean, him praying over this body got me immediately.
Oh wow.
How do you find this balance in a character to make them, you know, likable as the main protagonist, but also a real person?
I think audiences are smarter than they ever are before. And the old trope would be on page two, Avi would explain his entire life's history, why he became a cop, who he is, who his parents are, and what his blood type is. And I think with this show, we want Avi to remain a mystery throughout the entire series, throughout every season that we should be lucky enough to have. And by that account, he should feel very real. You don't know all the people you interact with in this world that you work with. And it should take some effort from Janine in particular to sort of chip away at that outer exterior that may seem a little standoffish and tough, and get to the inners of who Avi is and what makes him tick.
I do love this partnership between Avi and Janine. I mean, they're perfectly balanced for each other. How much of that is taken from the book, and how much of it was just, the writer's inputs of how all this has to mesh together for the sake of TV?
Janine was David. I mean, David. When you move something to television, some things work, some things won't. But often you need that character that's going to serve as the audience's eyes. When you have a lead like Avi, who's very different and perhaps not like a reflection of much of the audience that's going to be tuning into this show. So Janine's invention, we'll say, serves as the audience's POV to question Avi, like we were just talking about, to inform on Avi, to push him to do different things. That's why she exists, and what Juliana's brought so well to the role is there's real fun she has with it, a real hunger she brings to the character, and a real openness she brings to the entire world.
How did you go about casting this? Every single actor you have got just seems to be perfect for the roles that they're in.
You never know. I mean, that's really good to hear. We started with Avi. We thought that was going to take a long time, and it actually didn't, because once we met Jeff, he very much is Avraham. I don't know if you've had a chance to talk with him yet, but
Yeah.
it's hard to separate the two for all the glorious reasons. So he was quick. With Juliana, I'd seen her in Succession. We needed someone who felt wholly relatable, fun, felt green, but not annoyingly so, that she was like, we didn't want someone who just kept asking questions, like, I'm sick of you. So she really embodied the character with a confidence and a morale that was really nice. When it came to Captain Davies, I mean, we really felt Karen's like my favorite character. She's funny when she needs to be. She's strong at other times. You'll see, like, as we go through the second half of the season, once you get those episodes, she really takes a hold of the department and is the real, I would say, center of everything that's going on. And with Earl, again, not to spoil anything, but he's going to do some stuff in the second half of the season that's going to put some tension between this group of detectives. So I think we're going to have a real great ensemble and have some fun with it.
That's cool because at first Earl seems to be something like that, the comedic element that you do need in gritty dramas to lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah, and he'll still do that, but I think we'll find some levity from Captain Davies and from Janine and a few other ancillary characters.
So I know a lot of shows are billed as limited series now, but this one hasn't been. So does that mean you have plans on developing more? Because it is a book series, from what I remember.
If Peacock called today and said they want to do a season 2, we've planned for it. We're excited. It's meant to be ongoing. It ends on a cliffhanger. The last episode does. We very much built that. We knew all the episodes were going to drop at once. So we built it with 4 episodes of this first murder mystery so people can binge that, and then 4 episodes of this next mystery. So hopefully people enjoy watching television that way. They can burn through 4 hours relatively quickly and easily and want to live in that world more. And yeah, I would love to have a second season. We're talking about it and discussing different ideas.
So just my final question. When it comes to gritty TV dramas, there's a lot of them now, and you need to find some way of standing out to everyone else to say, this is the one that you should be watching right now. How did you go about developing the Calling to make sure it was that? What was different about it to pull it?
On the surface, you're going to look at the poster and you're going to see like David E. Kelley, Barry Levinson, and Hans Zimmer who did the score, and I think that should go. Oh, wait a minute, I could check that out. But we're much deeper than that. I think if you give the show even its first 2 minutes, as you talked about praying over the dead body, I've never seen that before. I've never seen a detective do that. He's empathetic, he's compassionate, but it's a world in Brooklyn that Barry's captured that just feels like unlike anything I've seen. And if you shoot in New York City and you can create a show that doesn't feel like the millions of other projects that have happened there, I think that's pretty special. And I think that's what we have here.
Right. Thank you so much for your time. I can't wait for people to see this because
thank you so much.
I loved it.
Appreciate it.